Man, I feel like half my orange videos are about Spider-Man. Wait, half Spider-Man? Welcome back to SpeterTV. You've seen the news. Until I see the trades reported, I'm going to treat it like a rumor. But, you know, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are both potentially coming back in Spider-Man Home 3 or whatever it's going to be called. And really, we've heard a whole bunch of other rumors about things that may or may not end up in this movie. Personally, I'm hoping it's more setup for Spider-Verse and Sinister Six stuff in the future and not what this movie is. But we just don't have enough details for me to get all worried about speculation and all the ins and outs, you know? So my main question has been, what are the loose ends from both Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man that we still have to tie up? So just kind of off the top of my head, what do I want to see get resolved for them? I'm going to start with the amazing Garfield man. And again, this is really off the top of my head, but he never really resolved the parents thing that they had been setting up and had filmed stuff for. My voice is cracking like Tobey. Now, I don't think anybody actually cared about the parent stuff, so it's probably wrapped up enough as is. But if they really wanted to, they could go back to that at the risk of mass groaning. We also don't know much about Peter's long-term state of mind after Gwen's death. We know he took some time off to grieve, but he clearly wasn't fully himself yet when he got back to it. So how is he mentally? How are his grief and guilt still affecting him? You, or at least I, have to imagine that he still has what he feels like two Stacy's blood on his hands at this point. So how has that remorse been driving him afterwards? Did he end up actually meeting Mary Jane? Is she still Shailene Woodley? We know Electro's back, so, you know, that. What happened to Rhino? What happened to Harry? Did his Aunt May ever find out he was Spider-Man? What was up with the Trenchcoat Hat Man and the Sinister Six stuff? Has he already had to deal with the Six? Was his J. Jonah Jameson also J.K. Simmons? And of course, why on earth did he use Bing? No man or spider would do that. And of course, with a franchise that didn't get fully wrapped up, there's going to be a lot of loose ends. Probably even more than I thought of. But with the Raimi movies, while we know that there was a Spider-Man 4 in progress at one point, it still felt pretty wrapped up. Spider-Man 3 didn't end on some major cliffhanger. But still, there's plenty of things that can be addressed. Like, did Peter and Mary Jane actually end up together? We got their sad dance at the end of the movie, but that's it. We don't know what happened after that. If this is really like close to 2 decades after Spider-Man 3 with the endgame time skip, is Peter even still up for this? Is he still doing this? What happened to Sandman? Peter forgave him, then he floated away like actual dust in the wind, but I mean, legally, Spider-Man's forgiveness doesn't protect you from, you know, the law. But can a man of sand even be restrained? So did he just go raise his daughter quietly and somewhat legally? Like, he still needs money, right, for his sick daughter, so is he robbing banks? Can he get a job when everyone knows he's a super villain, whether or not he's a bad person?
I'm not a bad person.
Did Gwen just kind of go away? Like, how did she deal with all this stuff? Did she just want nothing to do with Peter after the nightclub stuff? And I mean, her borderline stalker became a gooey villain and then got blown up. Like, that's gotta affect you somehow, right? If she even knew. What happened to Oscorp? The Osborns are gone, so did someone take it over? Someone has to be running that company now, and is that someone like Adrian Toomes or a Smythe or somebody? Did Dr. Connors ever become the Lizard? Did Mr. Ditkovich get his rent? Did he fix the door? How many more baked goods did his daughter have? And what is her metabolism like? In Spider-Man 2, was the name Doctor Strange taken by the Doctor Strange is going to be in this movie? And then for Tobey or Andrew, did they get affected by the snap and the subsequent blip? If that all actually affected the multiverse, then who got dusted on their ends? Oh, and also the same Aunt May question for Tobey. Did she find out? Did she always know? Will the Spider-Man wonder why each one of their Aunt Mays gets younger and younger? Will one of them finally say Uncle Ben's name in the MCU? I guess we'll see. I hope you weren't looking for answers from me, because I don't know. I just asked the questions like, what do you want to see resolved with Tobey and Andrew Spider-Man? Tom's has more than enough of his own stuff, and this is still his movie, so that's a whole other discussion. So, what questions do you want answered? Let me know in the comments. And hey, like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell to let your speeder sense tinkle when I upload. And remember, not washing your hands will not let you stick to walls, so wash them, and I'll see you next week.